In this video, I will show you how to find the arc length and the sector area of a portion of a circle like this one. So first, let's start with the formulas. The formula for arc length. So arc length is like this part that's marked in bold right here. It is a portion of the circumference. So let's start with the formula for circumference, which is 2 pi r. That would be the entire circle. Now, arc length is going to be some fraction of the whole circumference. So that fraction comes from doing theta divided by 360, where this theta is the central angle, or that's going to be the same thing as the degree measure of this arc. So don't be confused. So if I wanted to find the arc length, sometimes I'll have a student look at this and say, well, they already gave me the arc length. It's 135. No. That's degrees. That's not the length. Length would be like inches or centimeters or something. So when they give you this 135, that's not the arc length. That's the measure of the arc, which would be the same thing as this angle right here. So really, it's like they're basically giving you the angle, and you have to find the arc. They're giving you theta. All right? So that is the formula for arc length. All right? Maybe I'll put L in front of it. I don't know. But this is how you find arc length. On the other hand, sector area, when we're talking about sector area, we're dealing with the space on the inside here. All right? Not just the border, but all of this that I'm coloring in yellow right now. This is the sector area. This is a portion of the area of the entire circle. So let's talk about what the formula is for the area of entire circle. That's pi r squared. But the sector area is some fraction of the whole area. So again, that fraction is going to be theta over 360, which we already talked about. So this would be the formula for the area of a sector. So let's use these formulas to find stuff. Okay, the radius of this circle is 6. Great, so we know that r is 6. Find the measure, the measure of the arc is 135 degrees, which we already discussed, really means that theta, okay, is 135 degrees. That's what they're really saying. Okay, so find the arc length. So we're just going to use this formula. So the arc length is going to equal 135 out of 360, okay, times 2 pi r. So that's going to be times 2 pi 6. So let's see if I put this whole thing in my calculator, sometimes it'll give me an exact value just like that. 135 over 360. And I could just put 2 pi 6 if I want to. Let's see what happens. 9 pi over 2. So easy. Okay, don't forget the units or you will lose points. The units are in inches. Those are the units of length. So arc length will also be in inches. So that's what they mean by exact. For the decimal approximation, I will toggle this. 14.14. Got to round up. All right, this is a little different. They're giving us the radius. They're giving us the area of the shaded sector, okay? Find the measure of the bold arc in degrees. Okay, they're asking us for the measure of the arc. So I need you to understand that they are asking us for theta. Okay, the arc measure is theta. All right, so they're not asking us for the arc length. That would be like inches or something. Anyway, they gave us the area of the sector. So let's start by writing down the formula for the area of the sector. So that's going to be some fraction of the total area of the circle. So this is the formula for the sector area. Let's fill in what we know. Well, first of all, what are we trying to find? We're supposed to find theta. So this is what we are looking for. That means they must give us the radius and they must give us the sector area. So let's fill those numbers in. The sector area is 126 pi. So that is equal to theta over 360. Okay, times pi. And then I've got 18 squared. All right, pi r squared, and the radius is 18. So I need to solve this for theta. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply both sides by 360 first. All right, that'll help me get rid of the fraction aspect of it. Okay, so if I multiply by 360 on both sides, all right, that will cancel out the 360s. So what is 360 times 126? 45,360. Okay, pi. Don't forget the pi. All right, now I've got theta still times, now 18 squared. Let's go ahead and take a look at what that is. 18 squared, that's 324. So this part in parentheses is 324 pi. Don't forget the pi. So now I'm going to divide both sides by 324 pi. Okay, because that will cancel these out, leaving theta by itself. Notice that the pi's cancel each other out, so I don't need to type them in. So it will just be 45,360 over 324. That's 140. Okay, 140 degrees. This is theta. That's going to be degrees. This arc has a measure of 150 degrees. So that means that this angle is 150 degrees. That is theta. All right, so I'm just going to move this inside so it'll be more clear that this is theta, whereas 10 pi is the arc length in feet. Find the radius of the circle. Well, we are given arc length. So let's start by writing the arc length formula. Arc length is always some fraction of the length of the entire circle. Well, that's the circumference, which is 2 pi r. All right, so it's some fraction of the circumference, that's the arc length. We are supposed to be finding the radius. We're looking for r. So that means we must be given L and theta. Sure, the L is the arc length. That was given as 10 pi. Theta is 150. So we can put 150 over 360, okay, times 2 pi r. So this is what we have to solve for r. I like to reduce this fraction whenever I can. So let's see, 150 over 360. That's 5/12. So I have 10 pi is equal to 5/12 times 2 pi r. So next I would multiply both sides by 12. All right, that way the 12s will cancel each other out. And I will just have 5. Okay, 12 times 10 is 120. So this is going to give me 120 pi is equal to, now I've got the 5 still here and the 2. 5 times 2 is 10. So this will be 10 pi r. So we're looking for that radius, so that's why I'm going to divide both sides by 10 pi. Okay, that'll leave the radius by itself. Notice that the pi's cancel each other out. 120 divided by 10 is just going to be 12. So that's why the radius is 12 feet. Don't forget the units or you will lose points. The radius is 4.5 miles. The measure of the arc is 220 degrees. All right, again, I'm always just going to pause and do this. The arc measure, that's theta. All right, theta is 220 degrees. So now that I've written it there, I don't need it to be here, all right? It's theta. Find the area of the shaded sector. Okay, well, we have a formula for sector area. And that formula is, area is always some fraction of the total area of the circle. The whole circle area is pi r squared. So this is the formula for the area of a sector, part of a circle. So theta is 220, so that'll be 220 out of 360 pi. The radius is 4.5, so this will be 4.5 squared. So I should just be able to put all this in my calculator because I already have the sector area by itself. Okay, so here I go, 220 over 360 times pi 4.5 squared. So that's 38.88, got to round up. And the units of length were miles, so that means the area units will be miles squared, square miles. The radius of a circle is 8 centimeters. A certain arc on the circle is 34 centimeters long. So that we've got arc length here, people. Find the measure of this arc. The measure of the arc, you say, that's theta. All right, that's what we're looking for. So we're given arc length. Okay, arc length. So we need to start with the arc length formula. So that formula is the arc length is some fraction of the length of the whole circle, which is the circumference 2 pi r. Okay, we are told to find the measure of the arc, which is theta. So this is what we're looking for. That means they must give us L and R. Well, yeah, the arc length is 34 centimeters, so I'm going to have 34 right here. We're looking for theta. and 2 pi. The radius is 8 centimeters. So I've got that. So if I were you, I would multiply it by 360 on both sides in order to cancel these out. So the question is, what is 360 times 34? 12,240. And that's going to equal theta times, and this is 16 pi. Just went ahead and did 2 times 8, so 16 pi. So I want theta, so I'm going to go ahead and divide both sides by 16 pi. All right, those cancel out. So I'm just going to put that in my calculator, and that's going to be the answer. I already have that number typed in, so I might as well just go divided by, well, if I do it this way, I got to use parentheses, so never mind. I'm going to do it this way. So 12240 divided by 16 pi. 243.51. The units of length were centimeters, so this will be square centimeters. No, that's false. We were finding theta. All right, theta is measured in degrees. Let's do one more problem. A certain sector of a circle has a central angle of 155, all right? That's theta right there. And the area is this. Find the radius. So we're given sector area, so let's start by writing down the formula for sector area. The sector area is always some fraction of the whole area of the circle, the area of a circle being pi r squared. So this is the formula for sector area. We're told that the sector area is 510. So the 510 will go there. We're given theta. So that's 155 over 360. Okay, times pi r squared. We are looking for the radius. We are looking for r. Okay, I like to reduce this fraction as much as I can. So 155 over 360, that's 31 over 72. So now I've got 510 is equal to 31 over 72 times pi r squared. So what I would do is multiply both sides by 72. That way the 72s will cancel each other out. So what is 72 times 510? 36,720. So that's equal to 31 pi r squared. So I'm still trying to get r by itself. So my next move is to divide both sides by 31 pi. Okay. Don't turn this into a decimal just yet, please. Because there's one more step. This is not the final answer, so I don't want a decimal yet. So instead, let's just recopy this one more time. So right now I've got 36,720 over 31 pi, and that is equal to r squared. But I want to get r by itself, not squared. So I need to take the square root of both sides. Okay, and that is going to give me the final answer. So this is what I'm going to put in my calculator. The square root of 36,720 over 31 pi. So 19.42. Okay, radius is a length, so I'm just going to say inches for the units. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Go ahead and click here in the red apple to watch the next video. Click in the green apple to subscribe, or click the yellow apple for the full playlist.